Before you start with the Heapster Grafana demo, I want to make you aware that now Heapster is actually deprecated. So for newer clusters, it's actually not necessary anymore to install Heapster to get your metrics. There's now a metric server that came out that you can use. The metric server is a stripped down version of Heapster. It's very similar, but you cannot extract any metrics from it anymore. So you cannot use a sync to InfluxDB and then show your metrics in Grafana. So now, if you want to show external metrics, it's a little bit unclear how you have to do that. You have to use a third-party tool like Prometheus, but there's not a lot of documentation out there yet, and still metric service isn't incubating. So it's a little bit early to do a full demo that shows you the statistics in Grafana, but I can already show you how to install the metric server rather than using Heapster for newer clusters, because Heapster will be deprecated from version 1.11. So this is the Heapster GitHub repository, and from Kubernetes 1.11 there's an initial deprecation. So no new features or things will be added. Bug fixes might be made, and then starting from 1.13, Heapster will be retired. At that point, you should be using the metric server instead. The metric server is still in Kubernetes incubator, but is now the way to go to get your node and pod metrics. So if you choose for metric server instead of Heapster with Influx and Grafana, you don't really have a front end. Even the dashboard hasn't changed its code yet, but I'm pretty sure this is going to happen very soon. Then rather than using Grafana, you're just going to get the metrics in the Kubernetes dashboard, and then you don't even need Grafana anymore, unless for other statistics, but not for these specific statistics that you then just need maybe for pod auto-scaling. So metric server is definitely the way to go in the future. So let me show you how this is set up. In my Kubernetes course Git repository, I have directory metric server, and here I have all the YAML files copied. So I just do kubectl create of this directory, and then I should be able to do kubectl top. So let me just show you without an argument. So you can do kubectl top node and kubectl top pod. So let's try kubectl top node first. No metrics available yet. It actually takes some time to create those. We also need to be running a pod. So let me just run a simple service. So I created the deployment hello Kubernetes. This will start a pod. Just get pod because it has this random string here. Let's try again. Top node. Now I have statistics. So now we see CPU cores, CPU percentage, memory, and memory percentage. So I have 3 nodes, 1 master node and 2 normal nodes. This is the master node and these are the normal nodes. Now let's try kubectl top pod. And this gives me then the usage of the hello Kubernetes pod. So it only uses 2 megabytes. Currently it doesn't use any CPU because we're not even contacting it, we're not even using it. So 2 megabytes. So if you have more pods running, you will then see this increasing and changing. So to do the auto-scaling lecture, which will come next, you only need the metric server. You don't need any of the other components anymore that I will still explain in the next lecture, because those are deprecated. If you run an older cluster, then you can still use Heapster and Influx and Grafana, but for newer clusters starting from 1.8, you don't need this anymore. You can use this metrics server.